Well, it's January here in Colorado, and I am getting after some predators. So normally I'm calling coyotes in. I'm using my Western Rivers call. I'm out there calling. I'm set up on a death grip. They're running in. I'm pounding them. Sometimes I'll use a decoy in conjunction with my call, but that's how I harvest the majority of the coyotes that I shoot. Well, this last week I did something totally unique. I went out and hunted with bait. Now, I've hunted with bait before, but a lot of people don't think of baiting in coyotes, but it can be super effective. I was hunting carcasses over animals that we had harvested or our clients had harvested. I had elk carcasses, one of our cows had died, and one of our old horses had gone down. So I sent different baits up in different locations next to muddy blinds where I could have a little buddy heater in there and be nice and cozy and shoot coyotes when they came in.
All right, well, got a bait around the corner. One of our livestock died, so the coyotes have been hitting the carcass. I'm gonna sneak up. I got my rock river. I got a death grip. Let's see what one's on there. I'm gonna try and take it out.
Well, on this first one, I decided to check the carcass in the middle of the day and see if anything's on it. As luck would have it, there was a coyote at the bait. I slip up, I get set up, I take a good shot, smoke the first coyote. I look up and a coyote I didn't even see that was in the brush takes off running, and I send around after it and almost got the second coyote. But that's one beautiful fur down.
All right.
Nice shot.
Thanks, buddy. Well, we had one of our horses go down, one of the older ones. So I slipped up here, pretty neat. Got some neat video with the thermal the other night. Thought I'd sneak up here, see if I could catch one. And sure enough, I did. We're about to start calving. And sometimes these coyotes will get out there and take calves on Jeb and us, and that gets pretty expensive. So I'm Fred Eichler, just snuck up with the death grip. It's hard to sneak up on a coyote. But when you're hunting over a bait like we're doing right now, having a little bit of a break in the terrain, knowing the predominant wind, you can see we've got the wind in our direction right here. Those are the important things to make that successful. And that worked out pretty dang sweet. Almost got a double. That other one took off on me. I knew it was close, but I just waited for that one to give me a good shot. Let's go take a look at him. Well, here's the coyote I just shot. You can see it's a beautiful dog. Grabbed Jeb. He was doing some work on the farm here today, and I said, let's go check that carcass for coyotes. And you can see we just shot this beautiful male right here. It was another dog that was with him. You can see his face is all bloody from getting into the carcass there. But hunting over a bait like that can be super efficient when it comes to coyotes. I've shot them that way with thermal. Sometimes I'll use guts from animals we've harvested. You can use roadkill if it's legal in the area you're at, and you call the game warden and get it picked up. So there's a lot of different things. In Colorado you can bait, some states you can't, so be sure to check the regulations in the state you're hunting. But here in Colorado you can put out bait for certain predators, and coyotes are one of the predators you can put out bait for. So this coyote's got a beautiful, beautiful fur. You can see the back on him here. So I'll take that one and put him on a stretcher. But just a Pretty fun way to slip up and thin out a few coyotes. I checked it the other night with a thermal, and there were multiple dogs here. I had the ATN thermal, and I've taken quite a few over bait with the ATN thermal just in the last week. But pretty crazy when in a small area. I mean, within a 3/4 mile radius here, we've killed, I think this is the 9th coyote in a 3/4 mile radius. Pretty crazy. So since we're about to calve and our neighbors are about to start calving, we wanted to try and trim these guys out. You know, once a pair gets educated on how to take calves down, it seems like that's what they have a taste for. So I had this bait over here, which is actually one of our old horses that passed away. So I wanted to go ahead and try and take advantage of that and thin out some of the coyotes. We're about to start calving, so are our neighbors, and it's a good way to thin down the coyote population. So this beautiful coyote only managed to make it about 5 yards after I dropped him using the Hornady Superformance with that VMAX bullet. It's a 53 grain VMAX bullet that was designed for predators. So what's great about this, I'll flip him over and you can see the other side. There's no big exit hole. I shot this dog hard quartering, so it hit him in the chest, and that coyote only went, you can actually see, I think it came in right in here, and the bullet dissipated quickly and did not leave a big exit hole. This would be the exit side here. And what's great about that, if you like to keep the hides but still drop animals quickly, that coyote only made it 4 to 5 yards here from the carcass right there, and dropped. But that's why I like that Hornady Superformance with that VMAX. It's quick and it doesn't leave you a big exit hole. But hey, I'm Fred Eichler, cruising around the ranch, decided to check one of the baits here for coyotes and slipped up on one this morning. I've been working on them pretty heavy with the ATN thermal scope as well. It was nice to slip out, do a little crawling in the daytime with the Rock River, and set up and drop this dog, and almost got the other one. Here's a beautiful coyote I just shot. I'm skinning him down. A lot of people ask questions about the margin on coyotes or how accurate your coyote rifle has to be. Well, as you can see, if I go from basically the spinal cord to the bottom of his chest, you got about 6 inches is all you have as far as on a coyote's chest. So that gives you 3 inches of margin high and 3 inches of margin low. So your coyote rifle has to be pretty dang accurate, especially when you start reaching out at longer ranges.
Well, later that night, I decided to go back to the same bait with my thermal, my ATN thermal Thor, and check it to see if there were any coyotes on the bait. Well, when I slipped up, I'm using an ATN thermal Thor scope, and you'll see I could see 2 coyotes at the bait. Now, I'm set up with a closer one that's at about 135 yards. That's how far I am away from the bait. I want to shoot that coyote. The other coyote gets a little nervous, goes out a little further, probably closer to 160, 170 yards, and sits down. The coyote that I want to shoot, you can see he's getting a little nervous. He even throws up his nose, and he's starting to get a little bit of my scent. My scent was kind of blowing at an angle past the coyote, but this guy acted like he was getting my scent and getting ready to go. So as soon as I see that, I switch over to get on the other coyote. The coyote that was sniffing starts to move. So I'm watching all this out of the corner of my eye, and I'm like, okay, shoot the one that's sitting, that's your good shot. I crank off a round, and at the last second, you'll see I pulled it a little bit, shot right over the coyote. He takes off running, I drop back on him, pull out in front of him, boom, and roll him at about 170 yards.
Got that one.
If it wouldn't have been for running my Rock River Arms AR, I don't think there's any way I would have gotten the second shot off on that coyote. Ended up I got a beautiful coyote. I just made it a little tougher on myself.
Got that one.
What an awesome night. I'm embarrassed to say I missed this coyote the first shot. But you can see here's where I hit him low in the chest there on the running shot. But what was cool is this coyote, same place, this same place I shot that dog earlier using my loophole daytime scope. I went back out, switched to the ATN thermal again tonight. That's the second dog I've shot over there today. Well, within a 6-hour period. Me and Jeb slipped over there, shot one with the loophole daytime scope suppressor. This time I went to my nighttime setup, which is the ATN thermal. This is the Thor and my Wyoming Arms suppressor. smaller suppressor, but I got excited. There were 2 coyotes. You can see they came right in. The one coyote, you could see he was smelling me a little bit. He was starting to get a little nervous, and we started to go. I decided to shoot this one that was sitting up, and I just pulled the shot, and I felt me pull it as I shot. Touched the trigger off, missed the coyote. He took off running, and you'll see I just rolled him on the run. So pretty awesome. Got another beautiful coyote here. Again, using the ATN Thermal Thor. And what's neat is the record feature on this. You can see exactly what I was seeing. You can see what I was doing. You can see the lead I put on the coyote. And he flipped around a few times, but that was it for this guy. Well, I was having luck on the coyotes at the baits, so I decided to go out with the call and see if I could call in a bobcat or possibly a fox. I hadn't been running the call for 5 minutes when a bobcat slips out on the 2-track and is staring at the call. Well, pretty sure you know exactly what happened next. Pretty awesome. Went out tonight, ATN Thermal, Rock River Arms, shooting the Hornady Super Performance with my Wyoming Arms suppressor, and take a look at what we called in. Came right into the call. Look at that pretty cat. That is a pretty bobcat right there. Look at that joker.